Alright, welcome. Round 2, game 1. As Dumais decided to point out to his opponent as if he didn't know right at the start of the game. Playing as the US forces. In the blue, it's Lattouf. And he's going to be up against Dumais. Playing as the Wehrmacht. Dumais has gone straight in for the reverse Kettenkrad, giving his opponent a bit of leeway by not driving forwards. And once again, for Wehrmacht, you always see right at the start, it just gives you an idea of how much pressure the US forces put on Wehrmacht in the early game, that players are putting these kinds of defenses right down in front of their base. It is really sensible because it is a +10 fuel point. Dumais continues to reverse his Kettenkrad. He must be doing this intentionally, probably so that he can avoid the Jeep. If the Jeep comes and pushes the Kettenkrad away, at least he's facing base, and then he can just speed off. And I think that's where he's trying to go here. He's actually now trying to push his opponent out of the capping circle to try and cap the point. Daniel, by the way, in my chat to my left, says that actually the reverse makes no noise. That's a really, really good point, and very valid point. And if that's the reason why the Kettenkrad's going in reverse, that's super good play from Dumais. And that's exactly what we're hoping to see from these top-level games. It's a big push to take that fuel point from the opponent. The MG42, that's a pretty bad decision, I think, to turn up and back up and turn around there. He's now deciding to run along with the riflemen, hoping that these grenadiers are going to be able to force them away, but I'm pretty sure with a focused effort from these riflemen, there's no way that MG42 is going to be able to set up again, is there? I mean, you really are asking for miracles here. Pioneers are going to try and muscle in as well and just try and get a few shots off. Actually trading some members to the MG42, and that's the smart way of keeping this alive. It's a big push. I mean, it's a huge investment just for this MG to sit there and do nothing. I'm just going to watch this really carefully because it's a really, really interesting engagement. How many times are we going to see a transfer? And now the retreat comes in. I don't know if that was worth it. He may even lose the MG42 for all of his efforts there. And he does! Wow. And that just goes to show you, right? You can be reversing your Kettenkrad all you want, but if you don't keep your MG42, what's the point? During that engagement as well, fuel point was decapped, which meant that all those resources being fought for so hard on the left weren't even going back into the base for a period of time. This is going to be a game now that Dumais is fighting from the back foot right from the start, less than 4 minutes in. Now, we'll just have a quick overview look at this. So Dumais has gone for the south side. He doesn't want to be vulnerable to that really harsh strategic point, manpower cutoff here, which a lot of players have gone for in the previous games on this map. He's elected to try and just take a safer path, where the opponent really has to dive deep into the baseline territories to actually decap. It has its pros, it has its cons, and now his big fuel point is sitting quite far away from his base. He's going to go and stop the decap there. Try again, just prevent the fuel from being decaptured, but he leaves himself quite open and vulnerable. Riflemen are going to be able to easily flank here. This is crucial. I'm going to put the Fog of War on for this. He can see both rifleman squads. He's got to target the one on the right first, get that suppression, swing the barrel across to the left. He manages it. It's absolutely crucial he gets this right. But because of switching the position of the MG42, of course, he has caused a few problems with the Pathfinders regaining their composure. They're now up off the floor. Yeah, sensible decision to make this retreat. The MG42 setting up the Kettenkrad. I don't actually know what killed that then. I thought it got away with that.
Jäger light infantry on station. The adversary is trying to take one of
I
our
thought he was out of the range then, but apparently armor was struck.
Control of a victory point.
Dumais really struggling here, and right from the start he just had a
Sector now under enemy control.
rough draw, losing that MG42. Entirely his fault. Can't defend it whatsoever, but
Our enemy has
things just
control
haven't
over
gone
all
his way
victory
so far.
points.
And now you're looking at for Lattouf, just total map control. In the early game, he was being quite aggressive. He didn't even go for his high resource capture points, but the resource denial he has inflicted has just been huge.
M8 Greyhound is deploying.
Now looking at Greyhound coming in. Of course, all vehicles are coming in veteran C1 right now, so Greyhound immediately comes in with veteran abilities, rotation rate, turret traverse speed, and extra acceleration, just to dive that little bit harder into enemy territory. The stolen MG42, it adds so much to the US forces, where they would have to make a deliberate tacking choice otherwise to get to this. They now have access to a huge suppression platform, as well as the aggressive force that they are naturally with so many you know, high squad infantry forces.
We have holes in our front line. 4x4 is ready to roll.
And you know it's bad, don't you, when you're really struggling just to hold on to the territory that's outside of your base. This is absolutely huge. Picking off the pioneers a second before the mine was laid. If we have a look at Dumais right now, he has nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Weapon team back at full strength.
We really are looking at the end of this game, really around the 10-minute mark. What Dumais has to do here to stay in the game, and credit to him for staying in the game. He's really got to position everything perfectly, take ground slowly, aim for high resource points. But if you see there, what a mistake just to get caught off guard. The flak 30. This constant packing it up, packing it down again. Really not helpful. Armoured car's going to come in. Relying on call-ins, but this is quite a dive. He really wants to get that Greyhound. I don't know if we have grenades from Lattouf. We don't. So actually Greyhound could go down.
300 points remaining for the Germans.
It's on, boys.
Might give him a little sense of hope. I think he's being a bit careless here. I know he's desperate to get these wipes right now. That is 2 wipes, Greyhound and a Rifleman. It's pretty significant, but he has to make sure that armored car gets out of there. I think here he may decide just to chase after the Rifleman, and he would be perfectly placed to do so. But he just doesn't have that confidence. Not worth it.
Vehicle crews have clearance to advance. Reports of enemy movement near our victory point.
Sensible decision right now. He's already lost half his VPs in this game in less than 10 minutes. So right now you can see defenses are going up on the VPs, a little bit of support there. We've seen how strong Gotta get rid of the Go-To habits. We've seen how strong Wehrmacht can be when they spearhead the center of this map, so let's not rule it out just yet, but it really is a tough ask from Dumais to win this.
We're losing fuel point.
High altitude recon, ready for mid.
A munitions point is being attacked.
Quite sneaky there. These Pathfinders, the scout squad, need to actually be really careful here. They could get wiped on retreat. Very, very low health squad. Lattouf has been really, really careless. and loses another squad. Let's just check out on the top right hand side the unit counts here. Actually, you're now looking at Dumais with the higher unit count on the field. Still a lot of work to be done, but
We have a surplus of command
the winds
points.
have definitely changed.
Enemy activity near our munitions point.
Our front line fails. 250 points remain for us.
You can see here the Pack 40 in production as a response to the Chaffee. Lattouf is going to try and make most use of this unit whilst it has a window of effectiveness. The armoured car now has the ability to capture vehicles thanks to the raid package, and that's going to be really, really helpful, especially now that you don't have the Kettenkrad. The mobile capping force is really, really potent, and hopefully Dumais can get control of the north side of the map. That would give him a bit of breathing space and a platform to work from. The Jeep here, let's just put the vision on so we can see what Lattouf sees. He's making a pretty serious dive for the Flak 30. I think he's just spotted a second Flak 30 there. And actually, I may have been mistaken earlier when I said the Flak 30 was coming out. I think it was, sorry, the Pack 40 was coming out. I think he was building another Flak 30 there. So actually, he hasn't really dived into the anti-tank at all. The Flak 30 can be potent against vehicles,
The Chaffee has arrived.
but I don't know if it's potent enough to deal with two Chaffies.
Enemy movement near a victory point.
Recon plane, just getting a bit of recon. It's quite helpful actually, you know, it's exactly where Dumais is going, and you can just see the response immediately. Both Chaffee tanks kind of making their way to the top, where they know there's going to be vulnerabilities. Recon and intelligence in this game is so important, especially when you've got such a versatile mobile force that the US usually has. Recon just allows them to hit every single gap in your lines with ease. Of course, he does also have strafing runs and dive bombs to use as well.
Captured a victory point.
I'm surprised to see the Flak 30s used like this, but as I say, I have seen this in 1v1s. It can be really effective if you can just catch your opponent off guard long enough. Here at the top we just see the Chaffee tank. It looks like instead of clearing up the north, was going to go for a flank, but he's changed his mind.
We're losing a territory point. Enemy contact.
We have double sorties available, Commander.
Round's ours.
Well, you know, this will be the second time I've said this today, but the ability for Wehrmacht players to come back from the brink of death on this map is truly phenomenal.
A victory point is under attack. We must act.
You know, 4 minutes into this game, we pretty much wrote Dumais off as having lost this game quite tragically, but here he is at the moment. He still has the larger army size over Lattouf, and now he's starting to get that map control, which is going to be crucial to gaining a window of advantage over his opponent. Trying to keep a little track of the resources as well,
We are down to 200 points.
and also the teching. So we don't have a tank depot yet, or a panzer company. So right now, it's stuck in the mid game.
We've lost a squad of riflemen at the front.
P-47 could be a strafing run that's just come in here. It's going to clear up one of the Flak 30s. Quite nice. Chaffee's straight in there, and we just don't have those Panzerschrecks yet upgraded on the Jaeger infantry. So it's become really, really difficult to stop the Chaffee from doing this. Lattouf has been really brave there. And I absolutely admire that bravery. That's incredible play. I mean, he's taking a bit of a risk there. He doesn't really fully know what the tech is. That's an incredible decision. There goes the upgrade. Just a bit too late. Can we see the a Faust here?
Commander, we should spend our munitions.
Hasn't quite got his eyes on the ball.
A fuel point is being seized by the enemy.
Great flank. Vision provided for the Flak 30. Could wipe the MG42 here. This is the moment we wanted to see from the start. Just don't think it's enough. Too much threat from the double Chaffee.
Reports of enemy movement near our victory point.
Wondering now what the spend is going to be. It looks like Lattouf is going to go for the Easy 8 Sherman combat group. Just see mines are starting to go up here. Let's see if Lattouf is able to detect this. Vision on these pioneers. He'd just be able to see that mine going down and get a really good idea. I don't think... yeah, Dumais knows. He's... that's a pretty clear signal. I've seen your mine. Lattouf saying, cut that out. Again, just watching all of the scouting and the recon that's being done here by the Jeep. Also going to make sure that not too much fuel goes to his opponent. Now this is risky from the Chaffee. There is Panzerschrecks now upgraded on the Jaeger infantry. The Flak 30s have been penetrating the armor. But again, it's a really, really nice, well-timed attack. Followed up with a really nice strafing run. And these have been brutal to Dumais all game. You just see that dive with the Chaffee, drops the strafing run, and that has been fantastic. Now he has taken his eye off the ball here. He's just got another MG42, which he just hasn't really noticed at all. He's so focused on trying to get the Flak 30 back.
Sherman Easy 8s have been requisitioned. They're standing by.
Might get away with it. Easy 8 is now on the field. We'll check what response Dumais has to it in just a moment. So I know this tank's gonna have a massive impact on this game, and I think I'm not sure. Did he see it? Yeah, I think he's seen it. There's two squads with Panzerschrecks. That is the entire anti-tank capability, with the exception of some Fausts here from the Grenadiers. That is all that Dumais is relying on. I really do get a sense that he's probably trying to wait for Panther here, but the timing just hasn't gone in his favor. He's now lost a lot of his fuel income, so actually getting up to that could be difficult.
The enemy has claimed our sector.
Recon runs again. Such a shame. In KO2 you could always see these planes flying over. Now you can't. That's a massive hit from the Panzerschrecks. Wow.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point. One of our capture points is under attack.
What a battlefield.
Our territory is
There's
exposed.
that
We must
decap
re-establish
of
a
resources to the top. Tons of territory flashing there. The exact thing that Dumais doesn't want. Again, we see mines going down here. I think he's just going to get caught with his pants down again. I'm pretty sure they do get vision on that. Units in the building with the Panzerschreck. Got to be really, really careful. It is a stronghold, but
Securing our capture point.
definitely a lot of risk there. Here comes the strafing run. Always the follow-up to one of Dumais' attacks, and then here's exactly what we're expecting. 8 CPs hit, the Panther is called in right away. The timing could not be better for Dumais. Now all he needs to do is keep that recon going. I don't think he's going to get that surprise attack that he wanted. There you go, Lattouf. Just been a little bit careless there. Still being careless actually with the Chaffee. He's going to try and flank. Yeah, he's diving everything on this. This has been a misplay from Dumais. He pops smoke. That's a big hit through the smoke. Easy 8 clears Dumais' only vehicle. Sorry, his only heavy vehicle. In a matter of seconds. 8 Rad's just trying to sweep up any of the units that weren't involved on the front lines then, but this was a massive problem. Does not have no fuel manpower for another Panther. Waiting a minute or two for another one to come out. But you can only imagine the potential of perhaps having 2 out if you'd have just played it slightly better.
The enemy has taken a victory point. The enemy is stealing our territory from us.
I think the Chaffee is trying to give chase here, and he really should because the armoured car's got stuck on some rocks. Oh, if only Lattouf knew.
Come on. 75 points remaining for our forces.
Enemy down to 75 points and falling.
Well, it's going to be a really big job for Dumais to turn this around now. I don't get a sense anymore that he's saving for the Panther. He's had to reinforce a large part of his army, and
Defend our victory point.
it's taken him down quite substantially. He'll also be quite lucky to pick up this Chaffee tank here with the Jaeger. It's going to give it a good go.
Territory lost. Victory point now under enemy
Does he
control.
have the follow-up? He wants to try and get the Faust on. Does he have the range? Great pickup.
Has been knocked out.
Here comes that strafe again.
SOP boys, strafe that target.
It's quite sensitive to it.
Movement near victory point.
Let's hit the retreat, but
Bingo fuel in and back to base.
rather does try to move it. There's just too much going on at once for him to actually keep up with all these engagements. He's been losing a lot steadily. Then goes the armoured car. He's going to lose this MG42 to the turret of the Easy 8. Maybe not. Maybe lose it to the pintle mount. Be lucky to get away with that. Wow. I feel that Lattouf's not really having any of that. He wants to dive in and have a go of it again.
Point is under attack. We must
We
act.
have got the second Panther now on the field.
Victory point lost. The enemy is striking at our infantry company.
Dumais is desperately trying to jump on these VPs, just give himself as much time as possible. Units have to retreat, they're blobbed up there in the VP. He's susceptible to air damage. But here we go again. The Easy 8's gonna try and get on top. Smoke is popped. The Easy 8s are ground attacking through the smoke. Dumais can't even relax when smoke is popped. Lattouf is going all in for this, really hoping for the high armor of the Panther. And you can just see there, how tense that was and how little health is left from this Panther that cannot currently repair due to the lack of pioneers on the field. It's even though he loses the Easy 8, it's not a misplay from Lattouf because he really is trying to put the VP pressure on right now. He's done that damage to the Panther, which means it's pretty ineffective now. Pretty vulnerable on the battlefield.
5 command points available. We have 25 points left.
Lattouf doesn't want to get too desperate though. It's not worth losing squads like this. Loses too many could really start to cause problems. Let's just have a quick look at Lattouf's army. He's really gone down to nothing. It's tense. 8 VPs. The VPs have been decapped, but they are still going down at the moment because there's 1 VP that's blue, 2 that are neutral. This is tense. Oh my god. Okay, Jay just got it. Wow. I am shocked about it. Another Easy 8 call in. And I think it's going to be a good effort, but too little, too late for Dumais. I really can't see him coming back from this now that the second Easy 8's been replaced on the field. How you keep on top of this, I don't know. Recon's coming in. Lattouf well on top of the need for good intel. And there's just nothing that can be done to stop a US force like that. Just storming on top of the points.
Bingo fuel and back to base.
I think Dumais is going to have to just wait this out a little bit. Regroup for the next game where he'll be playing as the Allied forces. And then he's going to have to figure out a response to this because Lattouf has played a really good game. There has been a couple of gaps, I would say, for Lattouf where he hasn't performed well. Dumais didn't capitalize on them. And yep, the game is still going. This would be the 3rd or the 4th time that we've written players off and they've come back from it, but that is it. Lattouf wins game 1.